Hello, my motherfucking people. We are back with another Black with No Cream podcast. New episode every single Wednesday and Sunday. On Sundays, I interview amazing established creators with the goal of pulling as many tips and tricks on how to become a successful creator from each and every one of them. Shout out to all my guests. And on Wednesdays, we deep dive into a topic or question that we see Black with No Cream members talking about quite often in our private community. So today's episode is about how to turn one gig into three. If you are new, I highly recommend that when you finish this episode, you download last weekend's episode where I interviewed Post Malone's photographer, and the Sunday before that, I interviewed Beyonce's photographer. Both are fire episodes. Get with the shits. If this is your first time tuning into the podcast, you're probably wondering, what does Black with No Cream stand for? Black with No Cream is a private content creator group fueled by caffeine, or at least I take my coffee black with no cream, but you can drink or not drink whatever caffeine you fuck with and still be a part of our community. We are a private group on Facebook open to creators of all kinds, aka if you make videos, if you're a photographer, if you do marketing management, editing, dancing, etc., 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 all creators are welcomed. This is a community of people trying to figure it out, empowered by people who have kind of figured it out. Our private group has been growing rapidly. We have a shit ton of members working together by sharing content, asking for feedback, passing tips and tricks along to one another with the goal of becoming the best motherfucking content creators on earth. And you can join our group if you want to by going to bwnc.com/join. We would love to have you. Please join. All right, that's it. Enjoy the work week. Keep creating. Make sure to comment and let us know what topic or question you would like us to talk about next Wednesday. And without further ado, I bring to you our second Wednesday episode ever and the most epic podcast intro ever created right motherfucking now.
Attention.
If you stop this podcast recording at any time, you will die.
I don't want to die.
Do you want to live?
Yeah.
You have 24 hours to share this podcast with 5 people or you will die.
I'm kidding, you won't die. You're just weak shit for not sharing.
And the winner of the best motherfucking podcast goes to...
Black with No Cream.
What do you think?
It's so fucking dumb and so fucking Ben Haggerty.
I knew you would say that.
How to turn one gig into three. Here we go. One of the most common questions that gets asked in our community is undoubtedly, how do I get more clients? I think as a creator, an issue for many is that it's easy to naturally focus so heavily on developing the creative skills, and it's easy to leave the other side of the coin undeveloped, our business skills. While it is definitely true that talent and skills is almost always going to shine above anything else, in a world where there are infinite amount of creatives out there chasing the same opportunities, it is the ability to develop your network, build valuable relationships, and parlay current work into future work that will ultimately separate those who create for a hobby and those who create for a living. So with that said, how do we go about getting more clients? The truth is, there isn't an easy solves-all answer to this question. At the core, it really just comes down to simply delivering really excellent work and then developing your ability to go out and sell your past work to potential clients to land jobs in the future. However, it is undeniably hard to go out there and consistently land individual clients one after the other in order to make a legitimate living. It is hard to imagine yourself developing a solid network of connections when you start off knowing no one in the creative industry. So, when answering this question, I really think it comes down to how you approach each individual gig that you get in order to maximize your ability to land future opportunities from that one job. In short, you have to take it one gig at a time. On episode number 6 of the Black with No Cream podcast, my homie J.R. Strickland, VFX legend who just won 2 VMAs for his work with Big Sean and Logic, explained his mindset on how he developed his clientele, which I love, the exponential growth of 3.
All of a sudden, we started getting more and more gigs and kind of killing it. And it just kept snowballing. So once you, and I think of it as a tree, because people, like you said, how do you get more clients? Everything's a branch. I like to do exponential growth of 3. So if you get 1 gig, you would get 3 gigs off of that 1 gig. If you kill that 1 gig, I think you get about 3 gigs off of that one.
Makes sense.
So I would just try to kill 1 gig, and then that client will come back, or somebody will see that, and that'll be 3 more gigs. And if you kill the next gig and you kill the next gig, then you just keep growing.
Now, this is obviously not as easy as it sounds. You don't automatically get 3 opportunities from every job that you land, but I believe that this is a perfect mindset to adopt in order to land more clients and grow your personal business. Instead of focusing on how you're going to get the next 5 gigs, focus on how you can fully maximize the next one that you get so that you can set yourself up to parlay that gig into 3 more for yourself. When you take this approach of absolutely killing each and every single gig that you get, when you work your ass off and keep your head down and chip away at each opportunity, I guarantee that you're going to start seeing things beginning to snowball for you. Hard work and dedication to give everything you have on that single next project is the best power play to receive massive results. So how do you turn 1 gig into 3? I'm going to talk about 3 theories that you may not be thinking about when you accept a job that are extremely important in turning each opportunity into multiple jobs and building everlasting clients to expand your brand and business. The first is maximize your networking opportunities. Each opportunity that you take on holds the possibility of multiple valuable connections, even those not directly associated with your client. It's very important for you to parlay each gig into as many new genuine connections as possible. I think this is best explained through some examples. While we talk about music photography and videography quite often in the community, I think this setting paints a good picture for how we can maximize networking opportunities. So say you're a photographer or a videographer and you're getting an opportunity to shoot at a local venue. Let's even say you're doing it for free, just to get your foot in the door and add to your portfolio. How could you turn that unpaid opportunity into a future paid opportunity? Well, you have to think critically about who is involved behind the scenes of the show. You have the artist and the artist manager, of course. You likely have the promoter or the promotion company responsible for putting together the show. And you have either the manager, the venue, or someone at the venue who's involved in the production of each show. So let's say you got an in with someone who works for the venue and you get to shoot the show. You could just shoot the show, keep it for yourself, and then go home, edit your content, post it to your social feed, add it to your portfolio, and hope that gives you enough of a bump to land you future work. Or, before the show, you could do some research and figure out what promotion company is promoting the show, or even what promoter is working the show. What's his or her name? In addition, what is the name of the manager of the artist that you are shooting? When you are at the show, see if you can find or introduce yourself to these people candidly. Explain that you are shooting for the venue and would love to send them your work afterwards. See if you can get some contact info, and even if you can't meet them in person, see if you can get a hold of them online and reach out to them professionally with an email including your work from the show. By doing this, you have just opened the door to possible future opportunities with the venue, the promotion company, and the artist, if they like you and love your content. A good quick example is my friend Jordan, aka Taylor Cut Films. When he was getting his start, he became friends with the bouncers in New York at the local venues, and they would let him in to shoot the shows. He would meet the owners of the venue after the show and let them know that he would be creating a recap of the show and didn't expect compensation, but if they did share his content, he was just wanting to be tagged. Eventually, he began working with local artists, which got him on big tours and started shooting even bigger shows. This caught the attention of Usher, who then brought him on board as his personal photographer for the next 3 years, which resulted in a complete change in his life. Another much more simple example to grasp involves wedding photography and videography. When you shoot a wedding, everyone at the wedding could be a potential future client. So make sure to be pleasant, strike conversations with anyone that you can at that wedding. These people could provide valuable business to you if they enjoy you personally and notice your work ethic at the wedding. A cool example relating to Black Window Cream, I was at my cousin's wedding in Iowa and noticed 2 videographers shooting on some C100s, which no one had at the time in Iowa. During part of the reception, I went up for a drink and started talking to one of the videographers, and we chopped it up for a bit about cameras and shit. I had mentioned that I had a Ronin and was going to sell it, and they both talked about how they needed a Ronin to add to their gear list, which I then sold to them. Flash forward to now, Carl is an active Black Window Cream member, and not only does he participate as a member, he also took it upon himself to assemble a fire-ass fucking crew of coders and developers to work on the new Black Window Cream website. So you never know what kind of connection you can establish at any event. The best move is to be personable to everyone on all levels. So really maximizing networking opportunities comes down to this. When you're working, you need to make an effort to make a genuinely great first impression with everyone involved in the project. Don't be afraid to go up and introduce yourself to people and strike a conversation. Not in a salesman way, but you want everyone involved to know who you are and what you do and think fondly of you. This is how you can embed yourself into the working environment and get your name in the hat for future opportunities. When future jobs do pop up and people remember that they enjoyed working with you and that your work was outstanding, they are more than likely going to invite you back. You cannot expect this to happen if you keep to yourself and only speak to the person that you are reporting to. So speak up and make sure that you make an impression on multiple people during your gig in order to create more opportunities for yourself. The second point is understanding the power of recommendations. This is extremely important. Understand that with every job you take, you are not only working for that client, you are also working to make a first impression on everyone in your client's immediate network. People in the creative industry are asking for recommendations from people in their network all the time. It is without a doubt the easiest way to land work. You never know who the person you are working with is connected to. If you absolutely blow your client away, without a doubt you are going to stick in their minds as someone to recommend to the clients, and you will become a part of their Rolodex for future work. You don't think about it, but you could always be one level away from where you want to get. All it takes is one recommendation and you could elevate your career to a different level. A great example is how in last week's episode, photographer Adam DeGrosse shared with me about how working with Lil Peep, shooting iconic photos for him, caught the attention of Post Malone's manager, which eventually landed him a job being Post Malone's photographer shooting on his world tour. Or my personal experience at South by Southwest, working with an artist who isn't massively famous, going hammer, not realizing that murdering that gig could land me a spot on a world tour with the massive rapper named Schoolboy Q. You could only be one step away. The full version of that story is crazy, which I'll say for a rainy day, but it doesn't matter who you are working for, what job it is, go your fucking hardest, dog. Make sure that you do everything in your power to deliver the absolute best experience possible for your client. Deliver your top-notch work. It pays off to bend over backwards for your clients. Show them that you are willing to go the extra mile to deliver above their expectations. Show that you are invested in the project just as much as they are. That you will turn around work quickly, that you will respond promptly, and that you are going to take and implement notes effectively. All these things will help you turn one job into three by landing recommendations off the work that you do on a single job. The third and last point is valuable relationships over clout and money. Build relationships with people by working your ass off and not seeking anything in return. Not every job is going to give you the biggest social jump or the biggest paycheck, but sometimes that is not what is important. Social clout and even payment are short-term minded objectives. However, the relationship that you can build by working on certain jobs can prove to be valuable to the longevity of your career and pay dividends for years to come. If you go into a job with the intention of gaining clout or getting more followers from the job, you will lose in the long run. If you accept jobs only for money, you will miss out on many valuable opportunities that could possibly launch your career much farther than a short-term, higher-paying job would. Think deeper about what value you can gain by accepting jobs and seeking those that will help you build more valuable relationships in your life that can benefit your career. As a result, it will land you more work in the future. Say yes until you can say no. So in summary, if you want to get more clients, stop worrying about the big picture. Hone in and be laser focused on getting your next opportunity. Don't think that you're too good for any job. Because like I said, you don't know what other people you could meet in the process or what could happen if you absolutely killed that gig. At the very least, it will give you practice and teach you lessons that will help you murder the next one. Always go above and beyond in everything that you do and strive to be really proud of everything that you deliver to each client. Lastly, seek to build lasting relationships from each opportunity. These are the things that you can control that will help you land more clients. The mindset of the exponential rule of 3 will pay dividends to you long after the fucking first gig. I promise you. Bye. That's it for episode 37. If you found this episode helpful, please let us know in the comments. And if you have a topic you would like for us to cover next Wednesday, let us know. Join our creative community by going to bwnc.com/join. Subscribe to Black with No Cream podcast on every channel so we are lit. And make sure to tune in this Sunday for a new episode featuring Denzel Curry's photographer and videographer, Hendrik. That's it. So see you next Sunday, you bitch!